Millworker by James Taylor is going to be played in drop D tuning. That's where you take your 6th string, which is typically tuned to an E, and you drop the tuning to a D. Now, if you watch James Taylor play this live, you'll notice that he'll be probably capoed on the 1st fret, and that's because James Taylor has a habit of detuning his guitar entirely a half step below standard tuning, and then capoing 1st fret to get into standard tuning. So, assuming that your guitar is already in standard tuning, all you need to do is lower your 6th string to a D, and then you'll be good to go. That allows us to play a D chord and get a nice bass response out of it. The entire song is also finger picked, and I'll be talking and explaining some of the thoughts behind how to execute that a little bit later. But first, let's start with this main riff. The way that you do that is going to be executed with a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs. You're going to start by striking the open 5th string with your thumb, and then you'll immediately execute a series of hammer-ons with your 1st and pinky finger. 1st finger going to the 5th string 2nd fret, and pinky finger going to the 5th string 4th fret. You're just going to pluck once. You're going to pluck the open 5th string once, and then hammer-on, hammer-on. After you get that, you will immediately hit the open 4th string behind it. So after your pinky finger goes down, having hammered on, I then strike with my 1st finger the 4th string open, and it sounds like, but it comes together a bit more quickly than that. It's really a flourish of notes, just a quick trill. So anyway, once you get those first 3 notes, you're then going to put your 1st finger on the 4th string 2nd fret, pinky finger to the 4th string 4th fret, then you'll hit the open 3rd string, and then you're going to bar with your 1st finger across the 4th string and 3rd string 2nd fret. And you'll hit the 4th string 2nd fret. So we've got, and then you'll hit the 3rd string 2nd fret, repeating to where we're at. After you hit the 3rd string 2nd fret, you're then going to go back with your thumb and hit the low D string just to fill some space. Then you're going to open up the 3rd string, hit the 3rd string open, then pinky finger to the 4th string 4th fret, 1st finger to the 4th string 2nd fret, open 3rd string again, pinky finger to the 4th string 4th fret. So that is coming together like, hit the low 6th string again, and then repeat that same phrase of open 3rd string, 4th string 4th fret, 4th string 2nd fret, open 3rd string, 4th string 4th fret. So you've got, whenever you get back down to the 4th string 2nd fret, you're then going to have a hammer-on and then 2 quick pull-offs. You're going to hammer on with your pinky finger to the 4th string 4th fret, and then you're going to immediately pull it off like that. But after you pull it off, you then immediately pull off again with your 1st finger from where it's been on the 4th string 2nd fret to open. So you get, so repeating all together. Really slow one more time. So, and I was going ahead, almost went into the next part. So the next part is to walk down to an A minor from a C. You'll put your 2nd finger on the 3rd string, on the 5th string, 3rd fret. Plug that with your thumb, and then immediately behind it, plug the open 4th string, and then the open 3rd string. I usually do that with a thumb, first, second fingers, and then repeat that same plucking pattern, but now drop from the C note to the B note. Put your first finger on the 5th string 2nd fret, and go again 5, 4, 3, 4 and 3 still being open, and you're going to go into an A minor 7. Open 5th string, put your 2nd finger on the 4th string 2nd fret, open 3rd string, and your first finger is going to be on the 2nd string 1st fret, and you will pluck through that note by note. So walking down, that is, and that's the end of the riff. It repeats again after that. Again, and then that's one full round of the opening riff. Once that opening riff gets played through, I think 2 times, James Taylor really just starts droning on a D note. It's what he starts doing on a D chord, standard D chord, but the rest of the band starts playing. So what I've done is I've adapted that to guitar. The way that you're going to play that is, number one, we need to learn 16th notes so that you can understand the measure of count here. 16th notes are subdivided into 1 E and a, 2 E and a. So you're taking one note and subdividing it into 4 counts, as in 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E. So the opening D, keep that count in mind. The opening D, I am hammering into by striking down with the back of my nail, which I don't really have long nails, but I'm striking down the back of my nail just across the strings with my ring finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret, and then hammering my first finger down onto the 3rd string 2nd fret. And then I'm kind of fleshing that out with a little down and up, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, and then the riff starts on the 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So the 3 E and a, you're going to, on the 3, open up the 3rd string open, leave your ring finger where it's been at, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3. The E is going to be your pinky finger to the 4th string 4th fret. The and is going to be your first finger to the 4th string 2nd fret. The is going to be an open 4th string. So you've got 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 3 E and a. And then on the 4, you're hammering back down into the D. So very slow. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4. And you may just want to stop and try that count right there. It doesn't repeat it over and over like I just did, but 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And the way that I'm executing that, sometimes I'm striking down to get the note to ring out, and then sometimes, depending on how hard I struck the notes, I'm just relying on my pull-offs to carry the note. So notice how I'm doing that by just one strike down, and I'm letting the pull-offs carry the tone. So anyway, let me get back on track here. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So the second time through on the 3, it's going to move to a C note. The way that I'm doing that is out of this D shape. I'm putting my 2nd finger down on the 5th string 3rd fret, and then you're going to use your pinky to put it down on the 4th string 4th fret, and you'll strike it and you'll pull it up really quickly to the 4th string 5th fret, and then you'll pull it right back down to the 4th string 4th fret, and then you'll come down to the 4th string 2nd fret, and you'll pull off to fourth string open. Before coming back up into the D, 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and I think that the beginning of the little short trill there is happening on the of 3, like 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E. Yeah, so it's happening on the before you get to the 4. 1E and 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 3E and a 4E and a... So you can practice that as well before it gets into the main riff. The last time through, so it does that 2 times, I think. And the last time through, it goes to an A minor 7, like we played before, and then into the D, like. This is the first time through. This is the second time through. A minor 7, and then into the D. Okay, so now that we're past the intro, the verse chords are actually going to be fragments of chords. At their core, they are D chords, A chords, and G chords. But the way that James Taylor's making his A and his G are slightly different than others. It's going to start on the D chord, and then it's going to go to an A chord. The way that he makes the A chord is... well, actually, the way that he makes the A chord is different because he makes his D chord different than I would make a D chord. James Taylor makes his D chord with his second finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, ring finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and first finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret. But I invert my first and ring, first and second fingers to make a D chord that way. I suspect that you probably do too. So that's how I'm making my D chords. The A chord is you can lift your ring finger and put your 2nd finger down on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. And you would pluck basically all the strings there, and I'll tell you the picking pattern in a minute, but that's the shape for the A chord. And then the G chord, you're going to put your 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret, and then you're going to bar with your 1st finger across the 3rd fret of strings 2 and 3. That's going to be your G chord. The difficult thing about this is the picking pattern. The way that I'm hearing it is I'm hearing the thumb basically keeping track of the 2 D strings, low D and 4th string D. And then your fingers are switching chords on the uhs of 16th counts, as in 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1, 3, 4, a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3. So hopefully you can hear that count very, very slowly. It would be going... as in, it would start on the D, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3. The difficult thing is that your thumb is keeping the 1 ands, I think. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2E and a 3. So that's something very difficult to practice. But it's something that you would need to practice, assuming that I'm hearing that right. And in fairness, I'm not a finger picker. I am not playing this, I don't think, exactly like how James Taylor plays it. But that's what it feels like to me. D, A, G, back to A, up to D, At some times you can hear him do that little quick walk again, leading back up into the D of, which is very hard for me to do, and I can't even get clean right now. But that is the chorus: D's to A's to G's, back to A's. At the end of each verse refrain, you can hear him go, before walking down. The way that you do that quick hammer on is that you'll go to a typical D shape, first finger on the third string, second fret, ring finger on the third string, first finger on the third string, second fret, ring finger on the second string, third fret, and then second finger on the first string, second fret. And you would pluck with your thumb the fourth string open, and then up simultaneously with your first and second fingers on the first and second string, opening up the first string by lifting your second finger, and then you'd hammer on with your second finger. And then you put your pinky finger down on the first string, third fret, pluck again, pull off with your pinky finger to expose where your second finger is at on the first string, second fret, and then pull off with your second finger, exposing the first string, and then hammer it back down, and then you're walking down from a C. Whenever you get down to the A this time, James Taylor has his first finger on the fourth string, second fret, open third string, ring finger still on the second string, third fret, you'd have an open A string. So it's walking down from the C down to the B note, the fifth string, second fret, and then back into the verse. Whenever we finally get to the chorus, it's going to be a walk down coming out of the C, and it's not going to be the same style walk down as before, where it was coming out of that D of the verse earlier, but you do go to a C. So go ahead and put your second finger on the fifth string, third fret. Your first finger can go on the fourth string, second fret, or you can leave the fourth string open probably if you want to, either way. Third string will be open, and your ring finger will be on the second string, third fret. You'll have an open first string. And this is the C chord of the chorus. The finger picking style, I don't know exactly what James Taylor's doing, but I tend to go thumb on the root, first on the open third, thumb back to the root, and then second on the fretted second string. And that's like just kind of a rolling picking pattern. So C, and then it goes to a B note. So move from your second finger, third fret, to first finger, second fret of the fifth string. And then it goes to kind of an E minor chord. You're going to move your first finger to the sixth string, second fret, and then back to the fifth string, second fret. And that's coming together like. So that again, B, E, B, and then whenever you come back to the B, also don't be tricked into thinking that I was just playing a G chord. I put my second finger there to block out the sixth string. But whenever you come back to that B note, you're then going to lower your first finger down one more fret to the fifth string, first fret. Keep your same picking pattern with thumb on the root, and then first and second fingers rolling across the second and third strings. And then it goes after that B flat, it goes to an A chord. And the way that you make the A chord is you leave your ring finger where it's been, and then you put something on the fourth string, second fret. You can either use your first finger or you can use your second finger. But now your root is the fifth string, the A string. And then it goes back to the D. And then it repeats the chorus again to the C, walk down to the B, go to the E minor, back to the B, B flat, and then A, and then D. After running through that course, and also those same chords serve as the bridge, whenever it comes back around to the last D, it then kicks back into that opening, or the back half of that opening riff of. And those are all the chords to Millworker by James Taylor. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how to approach this song.